I say the number one thing, of course this country has many great things, as much as it has a lot of problems too, which makes sense. No country is perfect.
That's true.
Servus and hello, here is Bianca Killinger, and for this video I interviewed 6 international students who were studying in the United States in 2019. I asked them what their home country can actually learn from the United States. So this is part 1 of our series, and then we'll have another part where it will be the other way around. Oh, and by the end of the video I'll also add my part about Austria, so stay tuned.
I think it's offer more, states offer more options for maybe education even. Finland is very good, we have talked about it, but maybe still there's a very variety of options of universities and colleges, and also for employees, or if you want to be
Entrepreneur,
yeah. Yes, if you want to be like that, I think there's so many options. And also if you want to be rich, maybe you don't have to pay so much taxes here, so I think that's also something. Of course, that's why we have a good system, because we pay taxes, so I don't say it's of course good to have taxes.
This is really specific to students in the med field. If you get a degree from the United States, that degree you can utilize anywhere around the world. It's oh, that's an American degree. But the way American system is not reversed, just pertaining to med school only. So if I were to have my undergrad in India, biology, from an Indian college, then I can't apply for med school in America.
I think definitely the education system. Most of Cambodian education system is mainly based on memorization. Here it allows more creative thinking, it's more structured, the class they have syllabus and stuff, which what we like in Cambodia, we don't really have syllabus, you don't really know what to expect in class. So here people participate more, people talk more in class because they have read the materials, and I felt I learned better here. And another thing is maybe public services, or services in general. Say for example, when I need a vaccination here, I make an appointment and then I just go get a vaccination. Well, in Cambodia, some of the hospitals, they don't have appointment system, so you just go and can be waiting all day, and this kind of stuff. And just I think we should be more organized. Maybe a little bit about driving too. Traffic jam in Cambodia, people don't really respect traffic rules. Yeah. Traffic accident is really one of the major causes of death in Cambodia. I don't remember, it was one time it was the second or the first cause of death in Cambodia.
I would say the social security in the US and the measures that are taken to help people that are unemployed or homeless in some cases. There's a lot of different ways that the government has basically measures to help people who are in need, whether it be through unemployment benefits, or money being paid out to people when they can't work, or coupons for food. All of those little things really help. And there are things like housing, that in some cases you can find a place to live. I know I've heard of some cases when it's overcrowded and you don't always have a place, but the option's there, and for some people it's really helping. Also the way the community in the US tends to come around. There's so many initiatives that are started privately by people to try and curb homelessness, or help families that are in need. Whereas in Namibia, there's less of that. For the most part, the country is very arid, so it's very hard to plant things. And that means our food is, for the most part, our fresh vegetables and stuff are imported from South Africa. So the basic things, you're buying it, you need quite a bit of money to buy things, and the government needs to get better at that. I know that there's recently been a policy where they have opened food banks, but it's not being that successful, and it's not reaching everyone.
I say the number one thing, of course, this country has many great things, as much that it has a lot of problems too, which makes sense. No country is perfect.
That's true.
And one of the great things that I like about this country, and I could be wrong because I've only been in, Agnes Scott, is that education. It's very, I mean, we take it seriously too, but it's like a perfection. I don't know the specific, but their government, the way it's, a lot of people criticize, obviously, but I think there are some things that are great about it, because you still, no matter how sometimes oppressive it is to some people or whatever, there is still some things that, people have a power here, a lot of power, which is great. That's good. That's what I want to say.
That's hard because I'm not subjective. I'm not objective at all. So
Well, who is?
Okay, so I would say that here something is good is that it's kind of individualist. I mean, like, to a certain extent it's good, it's like always like this competition, and like if you don't make it, it's like your fault, and if you don't make it, it's your fault, and like you can only blame yourself for it, and not like how it's called, like be entitled to something. Because like in like France, for example, like people are entitled, like they think the government owes them so much, like even though they're not paying taxes. So like I feel like that's something that like French people can learn from Americans, that like should be more, just like more individualistic in a way.
Just as many other international students thought, I also do think that the education in general in the United States is better, especially in terms of how people study, not in terms of how much it costs and how much you have to pay. But like you have, for instance, like the midterm and the final exams, you have vacations, and when you have vacations, you actually have vacations and you don't have to study for the exams of lectures like it is the case in Austria, for example. And you can really instead focus on something else, like getting an internship, doing volunteering and stuff like that. And I do feel that's much better than it is here in Austria. And also, like, I've spent some time at 2 different universities in the United States, and none of them there were crowded lecture rooms, as it is sometimes the case in Austrian universities. Or for instance, there is no such thing as attending a course and just having one exam. This doesn't happen, and this is of course also not the way how people should learn, but it's obviously the way how people learn at many universities in Austria, for example. And that's far from being perfect. Also, what I do love about the United States is the failure culture. So I do believe that failing is more accepted of a way of learning than it, for instance, is in Austria. Of course, things are changing, people are changing, attitudes are changing, but still, I do feel less stigmatized making a mistake in the United States than it would be, for instance, in Austria. I feel like there it's way more accepted, and also the mindset is more like, well, if you've never failed, you probably have never even tried. And now I want something from you, and please let me know in the comments what your home country could learn from the United States. Subscribe for more international content and even for German videos. You can learn German here. Thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.